Hey guys, Tom the Blue Collar Masculine here. I got a really good topic today. Well, at this moment, I want to talk about, and that's going to be for the guys who have been in the trades a while, and maybe they're just tired of being stuck with where they're at. Whatever reason, maybe you guys want to go on your own for your own reason. Maybe you're tired of seeing how much money comes into the company, and you think you can do it better. Here's your video. Alright, so Journeyman, typically Journeyman. Residential or commercial really doesn't matter. Realistically, you have at least 5 solid years of either installation or service. If you have a mix of both, even better. At least this is for the HVAC side, and I can't imagine it'd be much different for the plumbers, electricians, roofers, and so on. However, you've hit a point, you've been with your employer for years, you like it, but maybe you've just hit a cap salary-wise, or maybe you're just getting a little older, and you want a little bit more control of your free time. With that, I do recommend going the self-employed route. See what you can get done on your own. I think that if you feel kind of boxed in to your situation and that you don't have that room to grow, and maybe you're just not able to take care of the customers the way you want to take care of them, being attentive and caring of their situations. I've been there. Then yeah, go self-employed. Now, what does that look like? What kind of steps would be involved with that? Well, if you're a contractor, what you're going to want to look at is what are the steps it's going to take to get your contractor's license in the state that you're in. And for some states, it's just an experience sign off. Most are 4 to 5 years experience signed off. And then you just take a test, well, 2 tests, a business test and a trade exam. In other states, they're going to look at, with that process, getting a live scan background check, as well as maybe even a copy of your books or an audit of your books, just to make sure that you're going to be a profitable individual. If that's the case, then I would look at doing some side business within the handyman law. If you have one, typically like California is $500 or less per invoice. And just go out, get a little bit of side work done, do some service and repair, and then start building your books from there. If you're brand new, maybe there's an exemption to say, okay, well, you're a new business, a new entity. They may waive that part of the requirement. But once you have your contractor's license, or you have those certifications that you need to do whatever work you want to do on your own, what you're going to really want to do is then look at the county and the state level. You can do a fictitious business name search, typically for your county and even your state. See if your name is listed. If it's not, as far as the company name you want to choose. If it's not listed, then you're going to want to go ahead and file that along with a business license. Get a business license, and then that's going to allow you, once you have your contractor's license, to be able to pull permits and really service customers and work in all different areas. Some jurisdictions don't require a business license in their jurisdiction to pull a permit. Most do, at least in California. So what you're really going to look at is how you do your books, how you do your receipts, how you do your expenditures, and really the business function. Because chances are, if you decided to go self-employed and you're using a skill that you already know, like say you're in a trade, then more times than not, that's not going to be your biggest focus of development necessarily. you might have to develop your tool sets, your kind of organization, your practices, sure, with how you're going to do it individually. However, really what you're going to be looking at is the business side, a uniform, expenses, receipts, cash, how are you getting paid, what kind of profits are you going to draw, how much does it cost to do a job, being able to look at your P&Ls at the end of the year, being able to have a conversation with your tax guy and say, what is my net profit for the year after all the expenses, and being able to kind of understand some of the basic information that's going to be in your accounting reports. You don't need to know every little thing in it. I think that's a waste of time because, as a business owner, you're going to be wanting to forward your business and continue to be profitable, and then be able to kind of quickly look at your books and say, okay, everything's in line. I'm staying profitable. This is where I could trim some stuff out and add some here. Beyond that, as far as accounting, that's for your accountant or bookkeeper to handle, and your tax man. But really, now that you have your business name registered, you have your business license, and you have your contractor's license, where do you go from here? Well, get some business cards made. I don't think that you necessarily need to go and get a website right away, just because that's a lot of investment, and things are going to change for the first few years quite a bit, and unless you're good with that kind of stuff, you're not going to want to sit there and pay someone to make constant changes to your website. So I would keep it basic, go with some business cards, maybe get some magnets. I firmly believe that the vehicle you use to show up to a customer's house most times says a lot more about the kind of company you are than necessarily when you talk to them, because most people develop an impression of another person or a company within usually first 3 to 5 seconds of seeing them. And so if you're showing up in a tattered old vehicle, dented, missing front bumpers and shit, one headlight works, you're not going to get the confidence from your homeowners or your customers as much as you would as, say, you were just in a presentable vehicle. It didn't have to be brand new, but, the paint's in shape. The vehicle looks good. Doesn't look like it's been in an accident. Maybe it looks a little older. That's fine. But, no rust spots. It looks decent. You're going to have a lot of success with that. And then really it's just developing your character and your reputation. What I recommend is start your pricing on things to be set up for the future. It's easier to reduce your price on things than it is to increase your price in things long term. Great example is, say you're in my trade, we have like capacitors, right? Well, typically I started selling them for about 30 to 40% more than what most one-man shops were selling them for, but they were pretty close in price to what the big shops were charging to replace them. And I did that not with the thought of being greedy, but with the thought of that it's going to plant and sow the future seeds of success, because I can't go a couple years later to existing customers and say, oh, hey, that went up 40%. It's now this. They're going to get sticker shock, So if you have this already established, then, by the time that you do get some employees or you are ready to expand and take on more work, people are more familiar with it, and they're going to trust that it's more in line with what they would quote unquote call a reputable company, like a box company. With that being said, develop your skill, your customer service, learn how to speak well, and take care of your customer. You may have some times when you're going to give away a little bit more free time to your customer, but that customer is going to end up paying off in dividends by recommending you to their neighbors and family and so on and so forth. So I hope this has given you some good tips. Reach out if you have any questions, concerns. Maybe you're looking for a little bit more advice, business related, financial, or women, whatever. bcmasculinity@gmail.com. Talk to you soon.